Today, guys, I'm going to be sharing with you how to create a whitewash technique. So if you're interested in seeing this, please do stay tuned. Welcome, guys. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Claudette with MsPuff Creative Corner. So let's jump into today's project. So on this card that I created here, I was over by my friend Wanda's house, and she showed us this technique. She got me into stamping up. So I am going to recreate this for you today using a different stamp set. And she is at Stamping All Night Long with Wanda Creates. So what we're going to use here, so we're going to do like a tone on tone, like a monochromatic look. So she used the Blackberry Bliss here. She used some black cardstock. She used rich raspberry, and she stamped with Blackberry Bliss. So Wanda, if you're watching this, you could correct me if I am wrong. So I am going to be using, and she used this. She used the stamp set Carmen Camilla. And so if you're going to recreate something like this, you need a stamp that has like a solid image instead of just the outline image. So I am going to be using the Timeless Tulips, and you could see here these are going to be solid image, which is nice with this is that the artists have the little spots where it could be highlighted. So that's going to make it a little easier for me when I am adding the whitewash to it. So now so you, instead of using like, so when I mean like a solid image instead of the outline image, so like this is an outline image, so when you stamp it, you could color it in. So these images are nice for people who doesn't like to color, okay? So this is the stamp set that I'm going to be using. The colors that I'm going to be using is Mary Merlot, and I am going to be using the little ink for that too as well. And this is a Photopalmer stamp set, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure I have a little padding underneath to make my image come out a little crisp and clear. And what I'm going to do is come in and I'm going to add a little scrap paper here because I'm going to kind of stamp. I'm going to stamp off of my cardstock. I'm going to bring in the stem. Let's just ink that up with the Mary Merlot, and then Stamping Up have these little ink spots. And I think I got this one that comes, they have like a monthly craft kit that's called Paper Pumpkin. I think I got this particular ink spot from out of that kit. And I'm just going to stamp this down here at an angle. And if you guys have like a stamping platform like the Stamparatus, this would be nice to use, especially if you want your image to be a little darker. And I am going to ink this up once again. So next I'm going to come in with my flowers. So I'm going to be using these two images here. And I just want to take my time and make sure I ink those up nice because I am just using my clear blocks and not my Stamparatus. And I just want to make sure when I put that down, I leave it down so the ink could transfer to the paper. And press it really good. And that's why with the photo palmer, I'm using that little cushion underneath. Okay, so now we're going to start our whitewashing. So what I'm going to do is take a clear block, and we're going to take some of the Whisper White. This is by Stampin' Up pigmented ink. And we're just going to add, you just need a little bit. You don't need just a little dot actually. You don't need that much on your block. So this way your ink is not drying up or anything by using it on your block. Then what we're going to use is our blender pen, and this pen is by Stampin' Up. So you get 3 pens in a kit, and this is good for so you could use this for blending chalks and water-based inks. So Stampin' Up has Stampin' Right markers as well as watercolor pencils, so this would be good too to use. So let's go ahead, and I think they have like a glycerin inside of this to help move the color around, if I'm not mistaken. So you have 2 ends. So what we're going to do is go ahead, and also you could look at your image and see exactly where you want your white to be, okay? And I am just going to, what you want to do is first, let me see if I could zoom in. So wherever you start, say for the tip outline, you want to outline that. And then as you outline, you want to start bringing your, so once you get your initial color on, you want to just start from the top and then just drag that color down. And just work with the initial color that you put down. And you just want to move that ink around and just add as you go. So you want to keep in mind that this is like not watercolor paper, so you want to avoid rubbing it too hard or going over it too many times, because then your so then your paper may start to peel. So try to do it as you can with a light hand. You try to pull your colors to the tip and then just drag that white ink down. If you think you got too much ink on your brush, again, use your scrap paper to get some of that ink off. And you're coming down using downward strokes to kind of blend that in. And again, you're just transferring some of the ink from other location and not re-dipping your ink. And if you want to highlight, you just go over on other spots that you may want to highlight a little bit more. Let's go ahead and stamp some leaves into this too as well. I'm just going to stamp this leaf right here. It has a little bit more highlights in there. So let's just ink that up. And again, we're using the Mary Merlot ink and the Mary Merlot cardstock. And then I'm just going to continue to add my white highlights of the water wash. So that's it for our coloring, and then we'll just put this card together right quickly. So we're gonna bring in a base of our cardstock here. This is measuring 11 inches by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. So our card that we stamped on is measuring 3 1/2 by 4 1/4. Then I am going to bring in another layer, and I emboss this with my subtle embossing folder. So these products are by Stampin' Up, okay? So now this layer is measuring 4 by 5 1/4. Then we have this black layer right here is measuring 2 1/2 by 5 inches. And then we're just going to go ahead and put these together. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down to the base. Before I do that, let me just stamp a sentiment in the inside just in case I make a mistake. And I am going to use the same color, Mary Merlot, and we're going to use the sentiment, "What a beautiful difference one single life makes." And with my grid paper, I could line this up. Make sure it's nice and even. We'll stamp that in the inside. And this Mary Merlot is a beautiful color. So let's go ahead and take our multi-purpose glue. So we'll just add some glue to this. Then we're going to add this just here, center it, make sure that the edges are nice and even. Then I'm going to add my black cardstock. Then I'm going to pop this piece up with some dimensionals. So we're going to lay that down on top. So next, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to add some little speckles on that, and I should have done it before I add my white, add my layers. So I'm going to use the Stampin' Right marker, and this is the basic black, and let's see if I could add some without making too much of a mess on the white. Okay. So I got some on the white, but it add character to it. And if you're going to do it before you add your layers. So let's see, I am going to add this sentiment, happy birthdays, from the same stamp set. I'm going to pop that up with some mini dimensionals. So if you guys are new to my channel and you like these kind of projects, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell icon so you could be notified when I upload my latest videos. And let's add that right here. What I'm going to do is bring in some pearls. We'll add some pearls to this design too as well. So if you guys got any creative value from this video, go ahead and smash that like button down below. That would be greatly appreciated. So this is the one water wash card that I created. Add some speckles to that. And I hope you guys enjoyed that and learned something, got some creative value from today's video. Let me bring in the other card that I created by my friend Wanda. That's it for now, guys. This is Claudette, and I'll catch you on my next video.